Greg Norman, the police chief in Newcastle, Oklahoma, was on duty when he recorded this dashcam footage of the 2013 Moore tornado as it turned from a fledgling creature into a monstrous wedge on its way from Newcastle to Moore. It was the city of Moore's second F5 or EF5 rated tornado in as many decades.
Being straight south of it, it's going to be west of Country Club still.
Okay, it's getting pretty good size now.
$35.14 to $35.01.
Go ahead.
I'm able to go 10-8 if you need me to.
Affirmative, we got debris, appears to be Country Club, and Highway 37, lots of debris. We got power flashes. It's west by 44. Okay.
Clear. Newcastle, 10-8.
I-44. It's just a little south of southwest 156th Street.
Well, Newcastle, I'm saying as well. I'm up there 2400 block, north 16.
24, so they can get over.
Newcastle, what direction is this thing going?
Is that? Do you have any messages advising me to do an informational route?
Newcastle, what direction is this thing moving? Never mind, it's moving to the north.
Moving to southwest Oklahoma City and Moore.
Yeah, it's definitely getting wider, too.
Affirmative, we're going to need some fire and rescue. Start heading this direction. Pull back a little bit. This thing gets a little further to the north.
Go ahead, Val.
Myself, 16 in the brush truck right here at the 22nd Highway block, 62, just waiting. Get ready to cross Country Club. Get ready to cross Country Club. At 37. Do have debris.
Very shortly, it's going to be coming across Indian Hills Road.
35 on Newcastle. 3501 Newcastle.
Yeah, 35.
Okay, interference is going straight from Country Club to be heading straight for all these businesses up here.
Yeah, I think it's getting it's a train. Just cross Country Club. Just cross Country Club and straight east of Oklahoma. One, can you tell us to hit Walmart?
It has not. It's to the north of Walmart, directly north of Taco Mile, Taco Bell.
East northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Is this so which camp's this?
Yeah, she's 35 road.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we have fire in there, fire department. Okay, stand by, we're going to go to jail, see if I can get them.
Up Country Club, all the way around to 34th Pier, so you should be out at the river, I believe.
Looks like it's about ready to drop up the floor now.
Both communities were devastated in the event, especially the community of Moore. The whirlwind would take the lives of 24 people before its time was done. As of October 2024, it is the most recent EF5 rated tornado, but that only raises the question of how long nature will hold back. One of the 13 tornadoes associated with the May 2024 Iowa tornadoes was a high-end EF2 tornado that tracked from Polk County to Story County, narrowly missing the city of Des Moines as it touched down. Although it generally missed populated areas, its path took it across Highway 30 near the small prairie town of Nevada, placing the motorists there in imminent danger of death and serious injury. Several vehicles managed to avoid the oncoming twister by the slimmest of margins, but circling winds of up to 135 miles per hour soon pulled a pair of vehicles into the darkness of the funnel. After being sucked into the tornado, the tanker truck and its driver were lifted through the air and landed in the trees on the right side of the road, while the second truck was rolled into a ditch on the same side of the highway. Incredibly, neither driver suffered any injury from the incident. Elsewhere, the tornado caused serious injuries to 4 other individuals. Easily overlooked next to the extremely violent tornado several counties over in Greenfield, the entire encounter was nevertheless a strange reminder of the fluke events that can occur in association with such storms, and the miracle that is survival under such circumstances. Even for Tornado Alley, the Nashville tornado of 2020 was an unpleasant shock to the city's inhabitants, given the fact that it occurred in the middle of the night, in the middle of a large American city, and with such severity as it did. This police camera, located at the intersection of Jefferson Street and 3rd Avenue in Nashville, taped the arrival of a nocturnal tornado just after midnight on March 3rd of that year. The tornado rose to EF3 strength inside the city itself, and the events shown at this intersection took place mere minutes before the tornado reached the pinnacle of its strength, which included winds with top speeds of 165 miles per hour. Scenes like this played out in much of the city, as the darkness and structures kept the tornado from view. In such circumstances, one can't help but pity the especially precarious situation of motorists like those shown driving down the street just ahead of the whirlwind's ballistic entrance, oblivious to what is just out of their sight. However, given that the only vehicle-based deaths in this tornado occurred much further away, one can assume that the motorists in the footage survived the night. Unfortunately, 5 other people perished in the Nashville tornado. 220 others were hurt. And even then, the Nashville tornado was not the most severe of the larger outbreak in which it occurred. Kelton Henderson is a long-time storm chaser who has pursued severe storms from Hurricane Ian to the recent violent tornadoes of Greenfield, Iowa, and Elkhorn, Nebraska. This encounter with the former EF4 rated tornado would be his closest brush yet with the worst effects of such a disaster. Already parallel to the tornado when the footage begins, his situation grew from dangerous to deadly as his live radar feed began to malfunction, and the rain wrapping the tornado rendered the funnel and its movements virtually invisible from the cab of his vehicle. At the same time, increasingly strong straight-line winds, precipitation, and the danger of hydroplaning further threatened to send his car into the ditch, forcing him to focus his attention exclusively on the road ahead. By the time the twister's outline became more apparent, it was right next to both the roadway and his vehicle, and even then, mostly in his blind spot. These anomalies meant that the storm soon began to chase the chaser himself, packing winds with estimated speeds of 309 to 318 miles per hour. Henderson survived his brush with the Greenfield twister, but for the tornado's victims at large, the worst was just beginning. Several of the homes that he had just driven by were destroyed as the tornado crossed the road. Mere minutes after this footage was taken, the tornado entered Greenfield itself, where it inflicted most of its damage and fatalities. Ultimately, the tornado would only dissipate after devastating 5 Iowa counties, taking 5 lives, injuring another 35 people, and all with some of the strongest winds ever recorded on Earth. The only thing scarier than a severe tornado during the day is a severe tornado at night. Local resident turned meteorologist Nolan Kane recorded this video of the EF3 tornado that ravaged the city of Bowling Green on December 11, 2021, one of 2 twisters to do so on that night. The scene he films is one of complete vulnerability as the winds steadily intensify, the lights flicker on and off, and panicked townspeople scream in terror, scrambling for any kind of safety as power flashes mark the rough location of the tornado in the darkness.
Tire flashes. We got power flashes. I think we got a tornado on the ground, folks. That's a tornado on the ground. Holy cow. Hear the roar of it. Winds are going the opposite direction.
The initial, more severe tornado left 17 people dead behind it, and the second tornado, rated EF2, tore through the stunned community within the same hour, even crossing paths with the first. No deaths or injuries resulted from the second tornado. Nolan Kane later clarified that the location of his recording was 3/4 of a mile from the first tornado's damage path, but parts of a destroyed truck were found even further away, highlighting just how easily he could have been hurt or killed by one or the other whirlwind, both hidden by the rain and the blackness of the night. These frightening scenes were captured at 2 schools that suffered severe damage when a low-end EF5 tornado ravaged the city of Joplin, Missouri in May 2011. It was the 3rd tornado to hit the city since 1971, and by far the worst of them, leaving behind what has been called some of the most extreme tornado damage ever recorded. As with most schools, East Middle School and Joplin High School were deserted by the time the tornado struck at 5:30, but the security cameras kept running, recording the dismantling of the buildings by the wind and a terrifying swarm of airborne debris penetrating deep into the halls. In the aftermath, the schools were left unrecognizable, with over half of those in Joplin destroyed. More than 1,100 people were injured, and 161 others lost their lives as the tornado laid waste to the city. More deaths would soon occur as an indirect result of the calamity. Tragically, 18 suicides related to the disaster have been recorded since the tornado occurred. After enduring such a horrific catastrophe, experiencing such a terrifying force of nature, and losing everything in the process, you can imagine why many people could not bear to live in terror of another such disaster in the future. 31 years after an F5 tornado tore through Andover, Kansas, the city of Andover would fall victim to a second severe tornado in April 2022, with this one rated EF3 on the enhanced Vegeta scale. This tornado footage, recorded from security cameras around the city, is inherently valuable and terrifying because it records the tornado from a stable vantage point in close proximity to the funnel throughout the nightmarish experience, and what the debris field would be like for a victim exposed in the open to a tornado. Several injuries occurred as a result of this twister, a figure that was remarkably limited, given the hellish scene caught on Andover's security cameras. However, no deaths were reported, a miraculous outcome in such a ferocious storm. This dashcam footage shows a sheriff's deputy in Greene County, Iowa, on patrol on State Highway 4 during a tornado outbreak in December 2021. His patrol takes him closer and closer to a nocturnal EF2 tornado, hidden by darkness and illuminated only by lightning flashes. He eventually decides to pull over as the tornado crosses the road that he and his vehicle are on, hoping to avoid it before it was too late.
Is there any way you could go out and trip all the breakers for the geothermal at the Midland building? Yep, 10-4. I was heading that way. I'll figure them out.
Possible funnel cloud. Repeat.
10-4. Greene County 29. We're out here at Hamilton car wash. In the lightning, it appears that just slightly southeast of town where they have a funnel.
The officer and the funnel did not cross paths, and no injuries were reported, but a number of outbuildings, trees, and train cars were destroyed. To the horror of the county's residents, this tornado was just one of 8 twisters to hit Greene County that night, any one of which the officer could have encountered in the darkness. In one of the most chilling tornado odysseys ever recorded, storm chasers Alan Gwynn and James Anderson crossed paths with the largest tornado of all time, a twister 2.5 miles wide near Reno, Oklahoma, the site of another extremely violent tornado only 2 years earlier. The edge of the colossal tornado is visible up the road, but long before it endangers them, Gwynn and Anderson notice something even more ominous than the main vortex, and far closer to their chase vehicle. A nearly invisible sub-vortex emerges, a smaller tornado barely visible against the rain, and the more massive tornado in the background, and heading directly for their location on a roadway that is only becoming more clogged behind them.
About central Osage County till 6:45.
Main road go right?
Yeah. Winona, and Pawhuska. Take shelters in all of these areas. These are storms that are imminent, but not already producing a tornado in Osage County. We'll keep you advised as we get more. Now back to Mike Morgan and News.
Come on, people, go, 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 go.
This tornado heading
Go, 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 go,
It
people.
is a violent, large tornado. It is, I think, about a mile wide right now. Multi-vortex. Let's go back to Glenn Miller.
I got Mike. Right behind the tornado here in front of me on the 29th and Joplin Road, south of El Reno.
How was that guy waiting on?
He's just,
It was.
It's whipping. It's right here. Right here. I've got whipping fluid. It's right in front of me, Mike.
are you sure south? Because it's headed south, isn't it?
We Yeah, go south.
Circulation of satellite right behind.
Go south, but you're going to have to book it.
No.
Stop.
From this location, a lot of rapid rain currents right behind this large 4G rotation area with a possible satellite on the backside right back here.
Vortex with possible satellite tornadoes around it. They become looking like clouds.
See the multiple vortices?
Yes.
They get this large. Let's go to Reed Timmer. You folks need to be below ground in Mustang, southwest Oklahoma City. We're talking southwest Oklahoma City now. I-40 area, even as far north as Bethany and Moore Acres. Folks, now's the time. You need to be talking to your friends next door, whoever has a storm cellar or basement, safe room. Do not, if this thing comes in Oklahoma City, do not try to ride this out in an interior closet or bathroom. We're going to show you exactly where it goes. Let's hope it does not come in Oklahoma City, but it's starting to get into some populated areas.
Dude, I got people behind me. I cannot go any further.
Halfway between Reno and Union City.
We're doing okay, I think.
Toward Mustang and all of the southern half of Oklahoma City. There's still 4-inch diameter hail up toward El Reno and Banner. Let's go to Reed Timmer here live. Reed?
You think we're okay to go that way?
I think we're good right here.
Gwynn and Anderson's quick response time and sharp observational skills, together with sheer good fortune, saved them from the smaller twister, which crossed the highway just ahead of them, and then disappeared from view. These subvortices were significantly stronger than the main vortex, with some of them boasting wind speeds consistent with EF5 rated tornadoes, and were responsible for at least half of the deaths resulting from the El Reno tornado, including those of 4 other storm chasers, 3 of whom were in a car that was thrown nearly 700 yards through the air, and another who was sucked through the windows of his own truck. Despite surviving their initial brush with death, Gwynn and Anderson were not necessarily out of the woods once the smaller funnel passed. Only seconds later, straight-line winds soon followed, which threatened to overturn their vehicle and battered it with leftover debris.
Oh, shit, there comes debris.
On 29, south of El Reno, and also on north and east of the
There comes lots of debris.
It's coming off the airport. Place into it if you can.
Dude, that's another tornado. Is that a tornado or is that?
No, that's straight line winds. That's RFD. Okay, get us out of here. Get us out of here, south.
Fortunately, the 2 chasers survived these 2 major hazards from a once-in-a-lifetime chase. In the end, 8 people perished in the El Reno tornado, and 151 were injured, 2/3 of whom had to be hospitalized. The tornado received a highly controversial rating of EF3 from the National Weather Service, but certainly had far more terrifying potential than such a rating implies. Had it crossed the roads clogged by evacuees, or entered nearby Oklahoma City on its originally anticipated path, the hypothetical damage expected was described as biblical in scope. It also became the deadliest tornado of all time for storm chasers, at least so far. The scariest kind of tornado is a violent tornado in the middle of the night. It's frightening enough to wonder if you're in the path of an invisible monster, but even more so to chase such a storm against such long odds. This video was recorded and live-streamed by storm chaser Nathan Moore on December 10th, 2021, as he pursued the Mayfield Kentucky tornado, which left 58 people dead between Woodland Mills and Rough River Dam State Park. A friend of his coordinates between his location and that of the tornado in increasingly dangerous circumstances as the night wears on. The full footage lasts roughly 3 hours. About 42 minutes into the chase, he spots the tornado soon after it touches down, during a series of spectacular lightning flashes. It then disappears behind a distant farmhouse for several minutes.
My Verizon's completely down. I've got no chat. There it was! I just saw it. We just got the tornado. There it was.
Yep. After you said that, your stream caught up. I seen it.
Well, you got a tornado!
After several minutes, the previously small tornado moves back into view, now much more ominous and threatening than before.
Yeah, your stream's down, but I caught a glimpse of it, buddy.
In the 2 minutes since he last spotted it, the tornado has increased exponentially in size, evolving into a massive wedge over a mile wide, which he pursues in the dark for the next hour and a half. The darkness, terrain, and thick vegetation mask the presence of a severe tornado traveling at an average forward speed of 60 miles per hour, one of the fastest rates of travel ever recorded in a tornado.
All right, I'm going to try and circle around. Dad is coming back. It's over this hill right now, unfortunately. It's pretty much due north of me now.
Yeah, your stream's trying to come back. It's kind of pixelated.
Chad, I hope you guys got to see that. I've got great video of it. Big tornado. Holy smokes. So we're about to go north. It's over this hill right now, so we're not getting a great view. Let me see if I can go up there and take a quick peek for you guys. We saw and clipped it. Awesome. Thank God. Yeah, the storm came over and killed my dad, unfortunately.
Eventually, the widespread damage inflicted by the twister interrupts communications between Moore and his guide, leaving him almost blind in the dark with a severe rain-wrapped tornado for increasingly long periods of time, in a storm that shows no signs of weakening. Originally intending to follow the tornado from a distance, he was now entering Mayfield, a city directly in the path of the oncoming whirlwind. At this point, losing visibility, getting stuck, lost, blown off the road, or otherwise slowed down could have deadly consequences.
Refresh your beacon, I lost it again.
What the frick was that? Oh, tornado sirens. Tornado sirens going off in Newport. If you need it and we can't get the beacon update, look at the clips in the Discord channel.
Well, I finally got the Google Maps to update. Having some issues with some storms here near me. Well, you're kind of running into the front edge of it, but the rotation's actually back to your southwest now. Since you've already went through Wingo. The hook is to your southwest. So when you get to Mayfield, I can get you either southeast or northeast.
So we're in the path of it now. Oh, shit. All right. Well, I kind of wanted to trail it, but okay. All right, what was that number again I'm looking for?
Broke up bad. What was that?
What was the street number again?
Yeah, I seen you key up, but I didn't get no audio.
Forget it.
The tornado was now on the verge of entering Mayfield itself, and the fate of some motorists traveling in the opposite direction cannot be confirmed. One user cross-referenced the time that the power went out with the security camera footage released by a Mayfield bank, and discovered that based on the route he took, Moore missed the front edge of the tornado by less than 1 minute. The camera can only record what is directly in front of the car, but lurking in the darkness, just out of the frame, is a wedge tornado, now with winds of 190 miles per hour.
I don't know if you're going to be able to get out of the way of this thing in time to take 121. I didn't know you ended up on the north side of town.
I'm on 121. And I ain't waiting for this red light. Screw it.
get on 58 East. Get out of there. You can't wrap all the way around to the other road.
Junction 131, keep going east.
Yeah, keep going east. Get out of there. This thing's almost right on top of you.
There's a police officer right behind me. Miles an hour and a cop passes me.
The video reaches its peak intensity about 2 hours and 14 minutes into the footage. The roar of the wind is now louder than ever, and Moore starts passing through scattered aerial debris and almost loses control of his car as he crosses a small bridge. Eventually, a series of loud cracks can be heard against the side of his car, causing him to turn around for his own safety. As he does so, he finds out just how close the tornado has been over the previous 15 minutes, and the answer is not comforting.
Freaking car tell me what direction you're going, it would be freaking nice. out of here. Screw this. I'm done. I'm done.
As he turns around, the dashcam captures power flashes from downed electrical lines just across the field from his location, indicating just how dangerously close the tornado was at that point. In fact, just 1,000 feet up the road from where he turned around, the tornado was damaging trees and outbuildings. After finishing his pursuit of the tornado, he then drives off to shuttle stranded victims back to safety.